In the modern world, there still exist two ways of hunting that are almost completely opposite. In Africa, the Hadzabe begin by lowering themselves to the ground, following traces that are almost invisible to the eye. Meanwhile, on the grasslands of Central Asia, Kazakh hunters begin on horseback, with a golden eagle perched on their arm. One side stretches the hunt through endurance, while the other shortens it through speed. But to truly understand that difference, you have to follow each step in the way they live. As the first light of day touched the savannah, the Hadzabe men had already finished the familiar work of the morning. Bows were checked, strings adjusted, arrows were arranged neatly with different arrow types prepared for each kind of animal they might encounter. Every step of preparation happened in silence, like a rhythm of life repeated through countless generations. Then they stepped into the forest. No one knew in advance whether they would return empty-handed, with only enough for a small meal, or encounter a large prey animal in the vast openness of nature. On what seemed like an ordinary hunting day, with no certainty of what they would hunt, the Hadzabe noticed unusual signs appearing before them. They read and recognized the prey from the ground itself. A large footprint, a strip of flattened grass, a direction of movement stretching into a faint trail. To modern people, these would seem like ordinary signs with nothing special about them, but to them, the next step was clear: the presence of a kudu. Immediately, the man in front lowered his body, gave a signal, and the whole group began to follow. The moment the arrow left the bowstring, the hunt truly began. The kudu did not stop. Driven by survival instinct, it burst into the sparse woodland, using its strength and long legs to widen the distance. Instantly, the group shifted into the pursuit stage. This was the hardest part. A large animal with powerful endurance could stretch the chase for many long minutes. But the Hadzabe did not need to be faster than it for a single moment. They only needed to be more persistent than it for the entire journey. Their eyes stayed fixed on the ground, reading every fresh sign. When the kudu changed direction, they changed direction. When it slowed its pace, they immediately shortened the distance, until the animal could no longer keep its rhythm. Only then did they move in. No rushing, no recklessness, and the hunt ended. The animal was too large to be carried away quickly. They took turns carrying it step by step, slow but steady. At that moment, the hunt changed into another form, bringing the result back to the community. On the way back, the group stopped to rest beneath the trees. One man brought over a piece of rotten wood that looked like nothing more than a dry branch. But through years of forest experience, he recognized that there could be a beehive inside. They gently opened the decayed wood. Golden wax and fresh honey appeared inside the hollow trunk. Everyone passed pieces of honeycomb from hand to hand, eating on the spot and sharing with one another. After a long hunt, that sweetness became a precious source of energy. During the harsh dry season in Tanzania, this was not just an accidental treat, but part of an ancient food system. Reading signs, taking advantage at the right moment, and sharing immediately within the community. In a modern world where food comes from supermarkets, the Hadza still show a way of survival that is direct, simple, and full of wisdom. When they returned, the fire was lit immediately afterward. The meat was handled quickly and efficiently. Men and women joined together in cooking. There was no clear boundary of who did the main work and who did the supporting work. Everything happened naturally as a familiar part of life. When the food was ready, the meal began. The women ate the meat the men had brought back comfortably and directly. There was no ceremony, no distance. The result of the hunt did not belong to one person, nor was it stored for anyone in particular. It was shared immediately, just as this community has maintained for generations. After eating, everyone gathered in a circle. The rhythm of clapping came first, then footsteps. They danced together, keeping rhythm with their bodies without needing instruments. No one stood outside. No one only watched. Everyone belonged inside the same circle. The hunt ended there, not with the victory of one individual, but with the gathering of the whole community. If the Hadzabe rely on signs left on the ground, the Kazakh connect hunting with horses, the open steppe, and the golden eagle. Before the hunt begins, everything is prepared very carefully. The hunter holds the eagle on his arm, controlling it with a thick leather glove and a hood covering its eyes. When the right moment arrives, the eagle is released, diving from above and chasing prey with its powerful hunting instinct. For the Kazakh, hunting is not a long journey of following tracks, but the coordination between human, horse, and eagle. Everything requires experience, calmness, and control in every single moment. Alongside hunting, they also train strength and riding skills through traditional horseback activities. For the Kazakh, these are not just games, but a way of preserving the spirit of the steppe and the character of people who live across the vast land. Leaving the hunting grounds and the competitions behind, the space opens up in another way. On the sandy ground, cloths are spread out. One by one, items are placed down. Leather bags, scarves, clothes, fur hats, handmade objects carrying the unique marks of each family. There are no permanent shops, no shelves, and yet everything is arranged with quiet order. Here, life does not revolve only around hunting. What they create is brought out for exchange, forming connections between different groups of people. The trading is not loud, but it is enough to maintain a wider system of life, where hunting skills, craftsmanship, and daily living remain tightly connected. In contrast to the movement outside, inside the tent there was a different rhythm of work. Women stood around, their hands never stopping. Dough was kneaded, divided, rolled thin, then filled with meat and folded into beshbarmak or manti, familiar dishes in everyday Kazakh life. Outside the tent, meat, usually lamb or horse meat, was cooked or roasted over the fire, keeping warmth and creating the main part of the meal. The food was not overly complicated, but it created the familiar meal of the Kazakh people after every hunt and every day lived on the steppe. When placed side by side, the difference did not lie in the tools, but in the way everything unfolded. For the Hadzabe, the hunt did not stop at one specific moment. It began with tracks on the ground, stretched through the chase, continued in the journey of carrying the prey home, and ended with the meal and the bond of the entire community. Meanwhile, the Kazakhs separated everything into clearer parts. They prepared before the hunt, acted quickly when the moment arrived, finished efficiently, then moved on to competition, trade, or daily life. The hunt did not continue endlessly, it existed within a larger rhythm of life. And it was exactly this structure that created two completely different forms of survival. Whether it was following footprints across the earth or releasing an eagle from the sky, both ways of hunting were never only about bringing down prey. What mattered more was the way they built an entire life around it. For the Hadzabe, it was a continuous flow, while for the Kazakh, it was a clearly structured system of separate parts. Two different directions, but both led to the same result: sustaining life in conditions that not everyone could adapt to.